Good afternoon, class. I've been contemplating several research projects for upcoming courses in this program and after completion. One of the projects is a local and public history project. I live in San Antonio, Texas, surrounded by historical buildings and amazing museums that highlight the rich history of Texas. I've done a lot of volunteer work as a docent at the Alamo in the past year. And while the Alamo is so significant to the history of Texas, visitors often need to remember that the city contains a series of missions, 7 in all, not to mention the Sequoias, one of the most significant accomplishments of the Spanish colonial residents in San Antonio. It's a very complex and expansive irrigation system that served all of the missions in the Behar area. The history of Texas includes contributions by Native Americans, the French, the Spanish, Tejanos, and immigrant Anglo-Americans of European descent. And while I'm opening this, I'm showing you kind of an overview of all of the missions that date back to the 1600s from the Texas Almanac that we have in this area. And as you can see, there's quite a few down there in the San Antonio area. I would present written and video information proposals for my grant outlining the need for comprehensive research, a comprehensive research project, highlighting the necessity for heritage preservation of these sites and the enormous multicultural contributions of the people that lived in and around the missions. Presenting the need and the project outcomes and goals and expectations upon completion, of course, as well. After teaching Texas history to my students for some time now, I've noticed a singular point of view in the course information and text, one that is from a Tejano or Anglo-American perspective. The course does discuss the indigenous people of Texas, the Spanish, and others, but it always seemed a passing mention compared to the enormous coverage of some of the other events, like the Texas fight for independence from Mexico. From an educational point of view, then, this research could be beneficial in suggesting curriculum updates when it's completed. Just as an example, I'm recording here today. It is Cinco de Mayo, the 5th of May, celebrated in Texas and other places, usually focusing on the Mexican heritage and culture in Texas. But this date is actually tied to the commemoration of the anniversary of Mexico's victory over the Second French Empire at the Battle of Puebla in 1862. Mexican heritage here in Texas keeps this celebration alive. There's several foundations and organizations in Texas that offer grants and fellowships to support historical research and heritage preservation. And I would likely apply to several for this specific research project. One being the Texas Historical Foundation, which accepts grant applications supporting the state's richness and vast history through archival research and archaeological investigation. There's currently 10 active projects going on here in San Antonio with that foundation. The Texas Preservation Trust Fund, operating through the Texas Historical Commission, which offers grants ranging from $10,000 to $30,000. And then the Texas State Historical Association has a couple of fellowships that could apply nicely to my research if my grant was accepted. Resources requested would be itemized in a budget with each item justified and sourced. Since I live in San Antonio, travel costs would be low. Still, I would have to incorporate expenses in working with preservation specialists, working on the sites, creating that travel video exhibit, equipment for professional video work, probably a couple of research assistants, and then, of course, publication expenses later on. I expect the research portion of the project to be at most probably a year, followed by probably a good 6 months or so of writing, sourcing, and then publication. This project is one that I've been thinking about for some time, and I really expect to begin working on the first aspects of it. In a course, I have a public and local history course coming up this summer, and I want to start kind of working it out then so that I've kind of got a basis so that I have something to, platform off of later on. So I hope you enjoyed this presentation and my grant proposal research idea, and I look forward to reading your feedback. Thank you.